So, trying to get that bicep, shoulder muscles shown here. Okay guys, shoulders, biceps today. Big day, pretty exciting. Gonna start off with the easy bar press seated. I like to do mostly compound lifts for starting off. Also, I'm in my own home gym, so kind of confined to doing compound lifts, but I really like these seated easy bar press. I can load it up as much as I want, and I'm progressively overloading as I go. So without further ado, let's get warmed up. Let's get involved here with some press. Now, put the camera right here. Maybe I should put it over here. You guys probably have a better view of me. Ooh. All right, so I'm gonna do a warm up with the 10s on here. This little easy bar is nice because when I'm pressing here close to my face, it's not in the way, it's not hitting my chin. I can still get, you know, a good stretch at the bottom, and I come past my chin, go straight up, get a nice lockout rep at the top. Ooh, really got to focus on my range of motion. I've realized in the past few weeks here, my ROM is just not good on a lot of my lifts. So that's going to be important, but nice slow control on the way down. A little bit faster on the way up. Focusing on the stretch at the bottom, contraction at the top. Yeah, this has been definitely a big shoulder grower for me, especially the past couple months. Really just want to warm up delts right now. All right, that's gonna be warm up set number one. Let's see, I'm gonna throw the 25s on. Bring that up quite a bit in weight and see what we can get into. And that's I think the bar that I'm using right now is a 17.5 pound bar. And I believe with the clips on the end, which are not clips, but those little clips that I put on the end to hold the weights on, I believe those probably bring it to 20. So with these guys here, what happens is with this, you twist it to the right, it gets tighter in there, locks down on the bar. If you've never used these, are kind of cool. So we're gonna put these on the end, and that should be about 40 pounds and 50, this should be 90 pounds for warm up number, technically number 2, but we're gonna call it warm up number 1. Where is the other one? That's a good question. I do not know where the other one is. I'm gonna bring you guys over here. You're gonna have a better view from over here. Okay, clearly need to click to focus for some reason. I don't know where the other clip is. Oh, there it is. Hiding from me. There's another one on the ground there, but that one's smaller. We need them to be the same weight for this lift. So, this is just a warm up. We're not gonna document this. We got our book over here for documenting the numbers. We're trying to progressively overload here. That's the idea, that's the goal. That's how you get bigger, better, faster, stronger. Progressive overload. So warm up, number 1. And then we'll do 3 working sets after. That was a great first set. I'm just gonna log it because it doesn't hurt to log that one. 90 pounds for 15 reps. And then from there, I'm gonna look back. My last shoulders and biceps, I actually played around with dumbbells. So let's go back 2 times ago, in which I did 112s, allegedly for 14, and then 123 for 7.5, and then 128 for 6.5. That is pretty heavy for a press of the shoulders. We're not gonna go that heavy today because, like I said, we're trying to lock in the form it's very important that I get a good form in. So we're probably not gonna go that heavy, but we will break the 100-pound mark for sure. Let's add the 11s, which will bring us up to 112. Where are those? One's there, one's over there. Yeah, that makes sense to me. See, I don't know if this is really the right spot because you're gonna have to watch. That's probably a better spot right there. Yeah, all right, I'll be right back. I gotta get the 11-pound dumbbells. I mean, plates. We gotta get these guys on. Yeah, so for my shoulder bicep day, this is the first movement that I like to do. And then I jump into a preacher curl with this same bar after this. Get the stretch on the biceps going. And then we'll probably do a seated bicep. And then we'll do some dumbbell raises or flies, whatever you want to call them. Already feeling pumped up in the delts a little bit. Man, metabolism is really ripping right now as well from all the lifting and running. But yeah, look pretty good, feel pretty good. Slept in today, so I got a good bit of energy for this lift. I once again ate a banana before this sesh, so we've got some energy going. Probably not the amount that I need, but I had a lot of rice earlier with some flounder, which is great. So this is set number 1, realistically, and we'll do 2 more after it. Probably try to stay minimum of this weight, and we're gonna try to get, how many reps do we need to get with this? Minimum 8 to 10. I also need some rap music because this is just way too slow. Let's pop some Drake. Let's get it. It was like 9, maybe a partial in there, but I'm gonna write down 9. Man, that hurt. Okay, yeah, 112 for 9. We're gonna stick with 112 because that was clearly a good weight. Could I go heavier? Yes. Could I cheat a little more? Yes. But I'm focusing on the delts. I want to grow the delts. And that felt like the right thing to be doing. Gonna push the water pretty good today. Yeah, so yesterday was back day. Back is a little sore. Day before that was chest and tris. Today, biceps, delts. And then we got legs tomorrow. And I didn't run today. I ran yesterday and the day before. I really probably should run tomorrow, but I don't like to run on the same day as legs, but I also don't like to run on the day after legs or even 2 days after legs. So might have to do maybe a light jog tomorrow in the morning maybe, and then do my leg day in the evening. It might make the most sense. So let's see, what do we got here? Why is this not auto-focusing on me? How do I focus cancel? There we go. That's probably better, right? Spot focus. I don't know, but got a good pump going. Just gotta get it moving, get the blood flowing, get the leanness going. So, let's see. Next set here is very important. Let's get it. very lean right now. Feel lean, look lean. So we're sticking with this 112. Could go heavier, could go lighter too, but no, definitely not going lighter than this. Oh. Big set, big set. This one more, and then we're moving into the curls. Man, this does definitely suck. It's one of my least favorite exercises to be doing like in the middle of it. It's just cardiovascular system gets exhausted very quickly from this. We need a heater of a song right now. Man, dude, Drake is he's carrying the team right now with his music, to be honest with you. He's carrying the squad. Eight reps, not bad. Eight reps. So we'll do one more with this same weight, and then we'll jump into the preacher curl. What did we do on our last preacher curl day? 70 for 7.5. Yeah, my biceps are a weak point for sure. At least from like a strength perspective, the biceps are definitely weak. From a size perspective, they don't look too bad. Definitely very lean right now. Look at those shoulders. Yeah, it's pretty sick. Yeah, the delt pump is good. Okay, so one more set to go with this. And then we can kind of move on to the preacher curls. And then we'll do delt raises. You know, I see a lot of variation in the forum on the delt raises, and maybe somebody can give me some pointers in the comments on these, because I see people doing them with their arms at like a 90-degree angle when they do them like this, which I don't mind that. I see people do them straight armed. And I just don't know the best way to be doing them. So I think I do like a slight bend, and I'm kind of like this. You guys will see, but definitely feel like I could use some pointers on the preacher curl, or not preacher curl, the dumbbell raise. All right, I'm excited to move on from this, but the delt pump is pretty sick right now. Look how lean those shoulders are. I can see the striations. That is sick. Okay, let's get it. Definitely could go heavier, but no, we're gonna focus on clean reps, good reps. Big shoulders come from good reps. Oh gosh. Six and a half. Maybe I couldn't have gone heavier. That's fine. Beat. All right, now, time to do some preacher curls. right back. Where is, I don't know where my thing is. There it is. I think that I've been liking it this height, a little bit lower. I think that's about where I like it, yeah. Yep, so we're gonna have to drop this weight down. Always start light. I always start with my warm-up stuff. Don't want to get any injuries. So I'll start with just a 10 on each side for first sets, and then we can grow from there. Let's just bring this guy up. There we go. Yeah, I don't know how to change this from, whatever, it's focusing enough. But yeah, the delts definitely have a crazy pump right now. Very lean. It's partially the lighting, partially the leanness, so. Slide this back a touch here. Right, good, right there. So, really focus on, actually, I'm gonna grab this. Kind of like to have something on top of this. It's not the best padding. So kind of go like that. And then I'm gonna put this 40-pound dumbbell back here for when I start loading this with some weight. So this is 40 pounds just for a warm-up. Get that stretch at the bottom. Gotta get that full ROM, guys. If you're not getting full ROM, you're really missing out on gains. With this though, there's not really much tension at the top. So I don't think it's as important to come all the way up, but I'm touching my nose, so we're still getting full ROM. Feels good. Feel rested for this, so it's good. So we're gonna do 3 working sets after this, because I'm gonna do 3 bicep exercises. I feel like my biceps are one of my weakest points. Same with, honestly, my delts. My arms are definitely small. Could be a lot bigger. So let's jump to the 11s with the clips on the end. Stay. Man, all right. Definitely feel pretty decent, but also at the same time, absolutely exhausted from the grind. But yeah, we're 100% doing it just like God intended. So, the old bicep preacher curl, definitely one of the best curl variations for growing your biceps. I actually don't mind the machines for these too, but obviously I don't have one of those, so we're stuck with the old-fashioned way, and it clearly works. Although my biceps are just really lacking on the biceps. Need to get those things bigger. Get it. This is set number 1 right here. So let's get it. 6, 7, 9, 10, I'll do one more. 11. Oh God. Holy smokes, guys. That was brutal. So this is 20 pounds and 40 pounds. So this is, well, actually 42 pounds and 20 pounds. So it's 62. Shit, how many did I do? 11? I think I did 11. I forget, honestly. It could have been 9. Oh my gosh. That was brutal. We're just gonna do 2 more sets. And I'm gonna throw 5s on, bring it up a little bit. It definitely felt very good, almost perfect. But we're gonna just crank the weight up just a smidge. Do some 5s, maybe 5.5s. Oh, okay. Make sure we're still good and going. We are. We are good and going. This is not going to be as long of a workout because I don't have to do anything extra at the end, which is kind of nice. It's just going to be 5 exercises, I think. I'm going to lower the set count on the biceps. This gets only 3 working, and then we're going to do some other ones that might actually only be 2 working, just because I feel like I've been doing too much volume. I need to bring up the frequency a bit, given obviously, of course, that I can recover fast enough, because when you're natty lifting like me, let's see, it's gonna focus. When you're natty like me, even though I could be, someone could probably look at me and be like, dude, you're not natty, but no, I'm natty, guys. I'm 5'9", 162 right now. Probably sitting at 10 to 12% body fat range if I had to guess based off of watching YouTube and what people say. Definitely have not much fat here, but I've got some down here, and the legs carry a lot of fat as well. So probably in that 10 to 12% fat range, and 5'9", 160, 163, 164. If I'm really well fed and hydrated, you know, maybe you could claim 165. But natty, pretty cool. Powered by deer meat and fish. So if you guys haven't checked out the other channel, go check it out. It's Fin Fur Feather. It's the main channel where I do all of my hunting and fishing. All right, let's get this set here. Need a different song. I mean, Drake has definitely been running the game for these workouts recently. Man, I'm gassing. Could be some country music played right here. Man, Sean Stamalley, he's got some good ones in there. I really need to just do the set and stop procrastinating. I got a lot of stuff I got to do after this. All right, that'll do. Let's get it, come on. Big biceps. Oh, come on. There we go. 7 reps. Oh, not bad. Not great, but not bad. So that would be 62 and 11, which is 73. It's not bad. I'm definitely weak at this exercise. Most people will definitely be doing 80, 90 pound plus, but gotta keep in mind, guys, I'm only 160 something pounds. I'm a very lightweight human, so can't expect me to be strongest guy in the world. We're also getting full ROM, right? Full ROM is very important, and really focusing on the biceps here. I'm not trying to swing it up or, you know, trying to like pull with my wrist or anything. I'm really just trying to isolate the biceps because I want big biceps. We're not ego lifting. We're writing it down, dude. Like, you know, you definitely want to be getting stronger, but, you know, not at the cost of form, tension, and focus. So I'm going to drop the weight. We're going to put 2.5s on for this last set, or 2.75s actually, unless I can find 2.5s close by. I do see one over there. I see them over there. That's going to be better. Nice even number to write down. There we go. Man, feeling the pump in the biceps. It's crazy right now. So let's go get those 2.5-pound plates. I need to move a little faster. Get this workout done. Fam's got some porterhouse steaks upstairs, which is very exciting. Sweet potatoes as well. Right up my alley. Speaking my language, you know. Okay, so this is the last set we're doing for the preacher curl, and we're gonna jump to 3 working sets of dumbbell raises. Man, I suck at dumbbell raises. I need some pointers on those bad, but we're still gonna do them. Fix the hair a little bit. Gosh, I look weird. Hair needs to grow out a little bit more so I can really have more of that flow, you know, the middle part flow that I'm trying to go for. But it's not that big a deal. Big bicep day. And back up and catch some more of this light right here. That's pretty good. All right, so last set of this. Let's do 7 or 8 reps here. I might even do a little swinging at the end just to get an extra rep. Gotta get that extra rep. Gotta get at least 7. That obviously doesn't count as a rep. All right, let's get it. 1. 2. Come on. Oh my God. Oh, Johnny. 8 reps. Holy smokes, guys. That was brutal. Pump is insane from that. So that's 62 and 5 was 67 for 8. I'm gonna drop this down. And now we are going to do some standing dumbbell raises. So I'm gonna take this off. I don't need this anymore. Okay, so turn you guys this way a bit. 82% battery. Here we go. So, yeah, that should be fine. Now, very important for the raises, okay? For me, and probably for you too, should be starting with a really lightweight, okay? I want to really focus on getting the movement down with good clean form, because there's no reason to be going stupid heavy on these unless there is, maybe there is. But for me, I mean, I'd even start lower than 15s to just warm up because I'm so crazy about not getting injured. So I'm gonna start with 10s. Literally drop into 10 pounds for this. Also, my shoulders are already a little bit worn down from the press that we did. But we're gonna start, this is how I do them. Try to get to parallel with the ground. Try to be somewhat slow and controlled on my way down. And I just can't go that heavy with these when I do them like this. And I think I recruit a little bit too much trap. So how I see people do them online, sometimes they got like more like this, which, yeah, I don't know if I don't hate it. Could definitely go heavier with the weight like that. It's a little harder if you have straight arms. That's way harder. So I'm just warming up here. I think that felt the best with the arms straight. If I had to say something about it, I think I would say straighten the arms out. So let's grab the 15s. I kind of want to count this as set number 1, to be honest with you guys, because I only want to do 3 working. So I'm gonna count this as 1 because I'm just weak with the shoulders. They're not tiny, but definitely not my strongest muscle. But definitely not the weakest either. Okay, so we're gonna do like 12 to 15 reps right now, and then I'm gonna go to 20s. See if we can get, 10 to 12. Okay, here we go. Straight-ish, not fully straight, but straight-ish. Okay, that was 15. Keep these, I'll write that down. 15 clean 15. Okay. Some people call these dumbbell flies. I just call them dumbbell shoulder raise or whatever. 15 pounds, 15 pounds for 15 reps. And we're gonna do 20s. See how that feels. Probably stick with the 20s. Yeah, part of my weakness is probably that I'm just quite lean. Takes away from some of the strength that I used to have, just being way leaner, and makes me look a little smaller in a t-shirt, but it doesn't matter when you take the t-shirt off is what matters, kind of. But I also don't want to sacrifice being a freaking beast too, because I'm gonna be able to drag deer out of the woods. Okay, 20-pound dumbbells, here we go. Got some Hardy playing right now in the headphones, a little bit of Hardy. Okay, let's go. I gotta get at least 10. 1. Okay, so I'm gonna give myself 8 clean, and I did 7 partials, because that's pretty indicative of what happened there. 20 pounds for 8, and then I write in parentheses the full range number, which was 15. Okay, then we're gonna do that again. It's gonna be about the same thing on this next set. And then we're gonna do some seated dumbbell curls. I'll bring that over here. Kind of just focus on getting that, whatever, this is the short head of the bicep versus the long head. Biceps got 2 heads. You got the short head, the long head. The long head's more responsible for doing this type of movement. I think it gets recruited pretty heavily on your back days when you're doing rows or pull-ups or things like that. Whereas your short head, it's getting recruited really heavy when you do the supination of your hands, right? Supinated grip is like this, right? So you got supinated grip during preacher curls, barbell curls, some dumbbell form of curls, and then you know, you got your hammer curls where you're targeting the long head, and that'd be like a pronated grip, right? Those are kind of the two different ways to target the bicep. And for me, I don't really know exactly which head I need to be targeting on more. Probably at this point, the long head, maybe this part right here. Both, honestly, both of them need to be way bigger. The peaks are tiny. Like, what is up with that? It's such bowl. It needs to be like a giant thing. Same with the delts. Like, come on. Well, they have a pump right now. They're not really even popping out that much. All right. I'm gonna have to go pee, but we're gonna hold it. Okay, here we go. Set 3 of 3. Let's do it. Switch dumbbells, because they're not from the same company, so they weigh different amounts, of course. It's about the same. The same 8 and 15. It's about what I give myself there. All right, we're done with those. And that's all I'm gonna do for shoulders today. You know, I probably could benefit from doing one more shoulder exercise because that's only 4 and 3, 7 sets. And I really only train them probably on average 1.5 times per week because I've got a 4-day training split. So, and I probably train 6 days a week. So that's perfect. That's the number. I'm training frequency 1.5 times per week. So it's really not ideal for I think frequency and number of sets. So it would technically be whatever 7 sets I did. So 7 sets for shoulders plus half of that is how much I'm doing per week in volume. So that would be 3.5 and 7. So 10.5 sets per week on average for the shoulders. And you know, I've got decent shoulders, but definitely could be better, right? Now for chest, let's see, what am I doing for chest? Because chest is, you know, my chest doesn't really look that big right now. Don't have a chest pump, but so I do usually 3 or 4, do a couple sets of that. It's pretty comparable. It's probably, and if I did dips as well, it's a little bit more. So I'm doing a little bit more volume on the chest than I am on the delts. Same with the triceps, you know, I don't do quite as much. So let me stop talking and start lifting. So we gotta get rid of this 40-pound here, pull that out. I'm gonna move you guys over here for the moment. Honestly, this is probably fine if we put you guys like right here or something. That's a decent spot. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's perfect, okay. So we'll start with the 15s just to kind of get the movement going, and then we'll do 3 working sets of this. Maybe we'll just do 2. We'll count this as a working set. I think I probably need to, yeah, that needs to be back one more lower than that. Maybe even one more than that. There we go, that's where we want it. Definitely not Luke Bryan. That'll do. Okay, let's get it, babe. So, focusing on the short head here. Full stretch at the bottom. Coming all the way up to the shoulder. Feel that little crack in that right side. We're just gonna do 2 working, I think, because we're gonna do hammer curls after this. Yes, this is super light, but I'm glad I'm doing this warm up because it didn't feel great at first. Just gonna go till I can't here. All right, that's enough. It's getting to be a little bit too cardiovascular induced. So, think I want to grab 25s, just being honest, which I don't even see one of them over there. Where is the other one? It's out there. Yeah, 15s. I think 25s is going to be where it's at for this. Give me that 8 to 10 rep range. Here it is right here. All right, we got one of them, and we got two of them. So, let's get 7 or 8 reps here. So we're doing this one and one more. So we got that stretch portion from the preacher curls, right? The stretch portion of, you know, really both heads, I would say. And now we're gonna do kind of a little bit more of that contracted portion of really the short head, kind of the inside short head. And then we're gonna do some hammer curls, try to target the long head of the bicep. So without further ado, let us get into it here. One more, come on. Oh, fuck. Oh, god damn, that was brutal. I think that was 10 reps. So we'll just do that again, even though that was terrible. Shoo. Man, that was actually brutal. It was the right weight though. And then we'll do hammer curls standing, I guess. I could do them seated, honestly. See what chat thinks, if we should do them standing versus if we should do them seated. Chat says he leaned towards standing. Lets you use a little more weight, train the grip and forearms a little bit harder. Feels more athletic and natural. Get a bit of controlled body on the last reps or overload. Okay. Chat seems to think that for pure hypertrophy and consistent progressive overload, the seated hammer curls are usually better, which actually does make sense. And look, I want to be strong and I want to be, you know, aesthetically strong, able to move shit. But I also want gains. And if that means I have to sit down when I do my preacher curls, hammer curls, I'm gonna sit down. So I'm gonna bring this up a bit, I think. Back and up. And then we'll just do them seated. Kind of on the edge of the seat, maybe like this. And just, yeah, that should be good. Yeah, that should be just about where we want to do it. Maybe even push it back further. All right, so I feel pretty warmed up here. I'm just gonna grab these. Oh, actually, did I have to do another set of this still? Crap, I wanted to jump into the other exercise before finishing this one. That would have been crazy if I just started doing hammer curls. I was supposed to be doing these things. Gosh dang. All right, last set of this. 1. 3, 4, 5, 8 there. Times 8. Cool. Now we can do the preacher curls, or the hammer curls, I mean. Gosh, I'm saying the wrong things here. Whew. How we feeling over here, guys? ISO seems good. All right, people. I'm not really in the mood to do the, I don't want to do it, but I gotta do it. I want bigger shoulders. Probably could use like a forward variant of delt raises, to be honest. Maybe like this way more. Probably would benefit from that up in here. And I've been hitting rear delts pretty hard, and I feel like they've grown a little bit, maybe, marginally. Not crazy noticeable. Okay. Let's get it with the 25s here. Didn't give myself a lot of rest time, but that's fine. I don't really care. I think I'm ready. I'm gonna alternate. 1. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, it's like 12 reps total, maybe 6 a side. Give myself 6 per side. Just one more set of that, and then we're done, which is pretty exciting. You can do a little flexing, go eat some food. Gosh, the bladder is very full too. I really have to go pee, but I don't feel like leaving to go to the bathroom. Yeah, it's pretty decent. We need some better music here. A little bit more Drake, Never Hurt Nobody. It's been just country and Drake today. Tucker Wetmore, turn me up, Tucker. Yeah, it's a pretty gnarly bicep shoulder pump right there. Look at that. See this last set here. Sip of water, and then we'll get it. I absolutely can feel it, especially the top of the motion on this side of the bicep, which is what I'm going for. So we're doing something right here. Get that shoulder to waist ratio looking right today. Okay, here we go. 1. 2. think it was like 7 a side, so I did more than my last set. Definitely brought the intensity. Okay, that's it. That's exciting. Oh, we're gonna have to do a little bit of flexing here before we call it quits, because that is why we're doing it here. Yeah, very big right now with the pump. That's what it's all about, guys, getting that gnarly pump. So, trying to get that bicep, shoulder muscles shown here. Yeah, I hate on my biceps when they get pumped. They don't have like any line there. It's just straight muscle and blood. It's all pumped up. But this side, you can tell, massive pump there. All right, pretty decent. Not a bad sesh, guys. Not a bad sesh at all. Oh. I do appreciate you guys watching. And if you made it this far, you probably like me. So if you like me, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button so you can always watch. So appreciate you watching. As always, see you on the next one. Ooh, I just touched the lens. That was stupid.